Namaste, Vanakkam, and Swagatam to all of you. And we are back here with the next episode of Tell Me Appa. So, welcoming you all to the season 2, episode number 18 of Tell Me Appa, which is going to be the tales of Lord Vishnu. That's going to be quite interesting, isn't it? And quite long. But I promise you it will be interesting and you will get something from it. So we'll start with the Gayatri Mantra to invoke this great Lord who preserves the whole universe, preserves all of us, and is able to keep us on earth. So we must thank him and invoke his energy, and then we'll learn more about this great Lord.
Narayanaya Vidmahe Vasudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishnu Prachodayate Om.
So again, welcoming you all to this lovely episode. And last week we talked about Brahma, who's the creator, the creating energy that makes all of us. But now we have to know, like, okay, creativity is okay. That's another content. But of course, preserving is quite hard and maintaining is quite hard. So we must learn about this great energy, who is Lord Vishnu himself. So we have a lot to go, and let's get started. So first we will know who is Vishnu. What are some concepts associated with Vishnu? During our Yantra sessions, which was the second online session course conducted by Dr. Sir, I remember that number 8 was related to Lord Vishnu. Can you explain that also?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Divya. This is a wonderful series because normally I never have an audience to tell these stories. So now I'm telling them to you and through the internet, thanks to COVID-19, sharing it with so many out there. And we welcome Apu Mama Ramanathan Sir, who's logged in with us, and all the others who are there. Lord Vishnu is the principle of conservation, maintenance, sustenance, and continuation. So when we talk about Vishnu, we are talking about an energy that is keeping us going, supporting us. And that is why when we talk about this energy, we say Vishnu Urukramaha. Uru is the thighs. So the thighs are the part that are sustaining us. And Vishnu sustains us. It is a very beautiful concept that the energy of Vishnu is an energy that sustains that which has been created. And to sustain it, you need a lot of money. So that is why he is married to goddess Lakshmi, who has all the money. And in fact, that is why Ashta Lakshmi, the 8 forms of Lakshmi, are associated with this principle of Vishnu. Vishnu is the principle that enables us, and it is a very beautiful concept that even from physics we can say that energy is constantly changing form, and the sum total of energy is always the same. That is the type of concept you have with Vishnu. Vishnu is also called Narayana. Now, when we use the term Narayana, it means that form of the divine that incarnates in human form, because the human being is Nara, Nari. So the Nara and Nari, man and woman, is the incarnation of this divinity in human form. So Narayana is that form of the divine that incarnates as human, and hence the Ashtakshara, the 8-syllabled mantra that is used is Om Namo Narayana. And my favorite actor, Kamal Hassan, in the Dasavataram movie, he had a scene where, he chants this Om Namo Narayana. And then that Kallai Mattum Kandal, that song comes. very dynamic, a very dynamic energy that is there when that Namo Narayana is chanted. Very different than Shiva, Om Namah Shiva, which we'll look in when we come to the Shiva segment. So Narayana is the sustaining principle, and the number 8 is the number of sustenance. The number 4 is the number of structure, and 8 is the structure that has been kept for sustenance. That is why it is 4 plus 4, or 2 into 2 into 2. So the idea is that you are creating a structure in which things can continue. And that is why the principle of Narayana, the Ashtakshara, and again connected to Ashtalakshmi is there. Now when we talk about Narayana as Vishnu, the term Vishnu is also found in Vedic literature. Shanno Mitra Shanvarunah Shanno Bhavatvaryaman Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi Shanno Vishnu Urukramaha. We find that term Vishnu used there also in a slightly different way than the Trinity, which is a much later concept. So yes, Vishnu is the energy of sustenance, maintenance, and I like to say Vishnu is our maintenance engineer, and he has the head of finance department Lakshmi on his side. In fact, one of the names of Vishnu is Srinivasa. Shri is goddess Lakshmi, the auspiciousness, and she is residing in his heart. That is why the beautiful song, Srinivasa Vengadam Udayai Jaya Govinda Mukunda Ananda Srinivasa Vengadam Udayai. And it's a very beautiful concept because he has the Shankha Chakra. In dance, we show the Shankha and the Chakra. The Shankha, which is the conch, the Panchaganya, and the Sudarshan Chakra, which he brings out whenever he has to cut off somebody's head. Like Shishupala, after he gets insulted the 99 times and then gets his head cut off, because even the divine loses patience with some of these idiots. And nowadays we have a lot of COVID-idiots in times of COVID, a lot of yogi-idiots in the times of modern yoga. So yes, sometimes the Sudarshan Chakra has to come out. You have the Shankha, the conch, and the Chakra. And he also has the Gada. He has the very beautiful mace, which is also part of Vishnu's, armory. And he's a very dynamic energy that often is found fighting battles. You don't find battles fought by Brahma. Brahma is always out of the battle. He is like Switzerland that doesn't take part in world wars. He's sort of out of it. But Vishnu is very much dynamism in that way.
So we'll get to know more about him. So some stories coming up. It is said that he had a great bhakta, Narada. Could we get some tales about their relationship?
There are many tales of Lord Vishnu, and in fact, I would say that a couple of very important bhaktas for Lord Vishnu. One is Narada, no doubt, and I will tell that story. Along with that, you have concepts of people like Prahalada, who is again a dynamic energy, Dhruva, who is the beautiful energy of youthfulness, child rishi, Dhruva. You have Gajendra, who is the elephant king and who calls out to Vishnu. So we have very beautiful stories associated with Prahalada, where Prahalada is constantly saved by Vishnu, including one of the avatars we'll talk about later, Narasimha Avatara. But he comes to save Gajendra when, as the elephant, Gajendra is caught by the crocodile, and Vishnu comes. And this is why we have that very beautiful song which we did in a dance. Ranganai tudi porke idhavedu Antaranga Bhaktiyudan Niravum Pagalum Maravad Panduranganai tudi porke Mangalame Taruban சகல ஜெகன் மண்டலவும் முயவிண்டலவும் பணிமுண்டக பாதனை பண்டுரிநாதனே ரங்கனை துதி போகு தந்தையைப் போல் பொருள் எல்லாம் தருவான் தாயென பரிந்தனைத்து அணைக்கவும் வருவான் சிந்தை கலங்கி கதரும் கஜராஜன் சிந்தை கலங்கி கஜராஜன் செப்பியமே பிரணவ பொருளாய் ஒளி சக்ராயுதனாய் செப்பியமே பிரணவ பொருளாய் ஒளி சக்ராயுதனாய் வந்தாண்ட ரங்கனை துதி போக்கு. That talks about that episode. And another song by Papanasan Sivan. Narayana Divya Namam நான்மறை சொல்லும் நாயகன் திருநாமம் நாவின் கீணிய. In that it comes அமுதாய் வயதினிலே அன்பு செய்துவன் கோணந்த மந்திரம். That Narayana mantra brings Vishnu into the place where that young Amuda, 6 vayadil in 6, the age of 6, Dhruva brings Vishnu down in front of him. Similarly, the story of Narada is very interesting because you see, Narada is a great bhakta of Vishnu. He's always Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Hari Narayana Govinda, Jaya Narayana Govinda. He's always singing Narayana, 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 Narayana. He's singing. So, he is very sure that he is the best bhakta. Ego. So they say pride comes before fall. So we know very well that in this story, Narada is going to get bashed up. Okay. So Narada is with Vishnu and going around. And so Narada is telling Vishnu, you are so lucky. You have such a great bhakta like me. You know, it's like many of my students, they think that I'm very lucky to have students like them. And yes, I am lucky, but not in the egotistical way. Okay. And they think they are the only one. I mean, well, okay, thank you, but you may not be the only one. There may be others. And Narada has this big ego and he says, oh, I am the best bhakta. Nobody else is like me. I'm constantly thinking about you. And Vishnu says, okay, fine, this guy needs an egodectomy. So he says, fine, Narada, can you get me some water? So Narada goes down to earth and he's going to get the water from an old well. And all these beautiful young girls are taking the water out of the well and he falls in love with one of the girls. He follows her home and asks her father, I want to marry your daughter. So the father looks at this guy, he says, long hair, Narada, long hair, and with his modern guitar, you know, looks like a modern musician who has no job. He says, if you throw that guitar of yours away and cut your hair and dress up a bit more, I will give you my daughter and you can take over my farm. And so the story goes, Narada gets married, he takes over his father-in-law's farming business, makes it great, has children, has grandchildren. He's forgotten all about Lord Vishnu. This guy who was telling Vishnu, there's nobody like me who's always thinking about you, has forgotten about Vishnu himself. And then one day a huge cyclone comes, a thunderstorm, and a huge flood, and everything is destroyed. And as everything is carried away in the water, Narada is like, oh my God, my life has become so bad. I've lost everything, all my possessions, my wife, my kids, my grandchildren, my chickens, my dogs, you know, everything's gone. And suddenly he hears a voice, Narada, where's my water? And suddenly all this Vishnu Maya, all the Maya is dispelled. And Vishnu standing in front of him saying, Narada, where's the water? And this is a beautiful story because all of us are like Narada. In fact, in Tamil we say, Narada vela paakurangana, they are always getting, you know, other people into trouble by telling on others. The Koli Mutturadu solvanga. They, you know, going and telling stories about each other. That's what Narada does. Narada is the catalyst. But many of us, we become egotistical about this fact that, oh, we are always thinking of the divine. We are in yoga, we are in meditation, I am in dhyana, that type of thing. And these stories are very good. There's another funny story of Narada and Vishnu. In fact, that's worth a separate episode, where Narada thinks he's beyond karma. He thinks, I have gone beyond all karma, and he tells Manmatha, he says, you're nothing, I can defeat you. Even Shiva had trouble with you, but I can defeat. And Vishnu says, okay, fine. And so he puts Narada in a place where there's a Swayamvara going on. And a beautiful princess is going to select who is to be her husband. Swayamvaras were the ancient Indian democratic way that a girl could choose her husband from amongst all the best who would show up, and there would be tests, and then she could select who she wanted to wed. Quite a beautiful way to go about it. So Narada gets there and he realizes that he has a lot of competition from all these kings. So he says, well, I better look like Vishnu, because Vishnu is the most beautiful, handsome guy. So, and this princess is like goddess Lakshmi incarnate. So if I look like Vishnu, she'll select me. So he prays to Vishnu. He says, Vishnu, I want to have a face. I want to have a mukha, a face like Hari. Hari is the name of Lord Vishnu, Hari. Hara is Shiva, Hari is Vishnu. He says, I want to have the face, a Hari mukha. And Vishnu says, are you sure? He says, yes, I know. So, okay. Now, Narada doesn't realize that the word Hari can mean Vishnu, but it can also mean a monkey. So the word Hari can also mean a monkey. And so Vishnu plays a trick on Narada to teach him a lesson, gives him a monkey face. Now, everybody except Narada knows that Narada now has a monkey face. He has a Harimukha Narada. He's Harimukha Narada, monkey face Narada. He doesn't know it, so he's sitting there, and the princess comes and he's like, she's going to select me. And she's like, where did this monkey faced guy come from for the Swayamvara? And she walks by. And he gets up, he says, I am here, how you are going past me? I am such a handsome guy. I have the face of Hari. And she's like, oh my God, keep me away from this, weirdo. And then, of course, he gets to see a mirror and realizes the trick. And this was again a trick that none of us is beyond desire. So the desire, the karma aspect, the ahankara, asmita aspect, how Vishnu is, taking it out of Narada is part of these stories. So beautiful stories of Narada, Vishnu, Prahalada, Dhruva, and the Gajendra Moksham has been brought out in such beautiful dance choreography so many times that it is par excellence. Beautiful stories.
So we got to know a little about Narada, and well, it's not that he's the only wrong one. Like, we all are having a lot of that, and as you said, we have a lot of that, going beyond desire, because nowadays so many things we are seeing that just the money is like nowadays that like kind of destroys relationships, destroys everything actually. Like, people just choose money blindly. They just get blinded by money and wealth and all that. So we can keep talking, but we'll move on to the next one and learn some good things. So what are the Dasavatarams? That's the 10 incarnations of Lord Vishnu, and maybe a little bit about them.
Yeah, you see, I was focusing more on direct Vishnu stories and concepts associated with Vishnu as such. But before I go to the Dasavatara, I must also say that often Vishnu manifests in a feminine form as Mohini. And maybe we will have a separate episode on Mohini, because there are beautiful stories of Mohini and how she is the form that he takes on, who induces moha during the churning of the ocean by the Devas and the Asuras who are looking for the Amrita, the nectar. And similarly, the story maybe with Shiva of Bhasmasura and how Mohini tricks. And then Shiva and Vishnu come together to create Harihara Putra, which is Ayyappa Swami. So we'll come to that. So that is one aspect of Vishnu. That is why Nara, Nari, he incarnates in both masculine and feminine forms. Now, Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita tells us, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharadam अभ्युदानधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे संभवामि युगे युगे धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. That from time to come, yuge yuge, to again re-establish dharma. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. I will come from time to time when the world is threatened by unrighteousness, adharmasya. At that time, to sustain dharma, righteousness, I will incarnate. And so it is said that there are 10 incarnations of Lord Vishnu. Now there are many, many incarnations of Lord Vishnu. In fact, every one of us is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu in that way. Okay, because as I said, if Vishnu is energy, that is just continuing at all times. We are all forms of energy, so we are all Vishnu. That is a different concept. That is why Nara Nari concept I brought in. But there are some specialized aspects which are given the status of Dasha Avatara, the 10 incarnations. And it is a allegory of the evolutionary process also. It starts in the water with Matsya. And so life starts in the water. So it is also parallel to the concept of evolution. It starts with Matsya, fish in the water, Kurma, now the reptile, the tortoise, that is water and land, then Varaha, which is the mammal, the boar, wild boar, then Narasimha, the human being who is still very primitive. So the half man, half animal concept is brought out here. So this concept of Nara Hari and Narasimha is brought there. Then comes the dwarf man, the human being who is short. Short meaning here not just in physical but in all the faculties. Then after Vamana you have Parasurama, the human being who is very violent with the axe. And this is how basically evolution has occurred. How from the waters the life started, the fish, so the amphibians, then the coming to the reptiles and the mammals, and then the human development. You know, we talk about Neanderthal man and all of that, you know, the Stone Age and Ice Age and all of those type of things. So the concept comes to Parasurama with the axe, the violent man. Then Parasurama gets transformed and he becomes the human being, which is Rama. Now, the human being who is having the noble qualities is where Rama comes in, Rama Avatara. Now, the next step is Krishna. Always Rama before Krishna. And these are associated with the 4 Chatur Yugas also. Satya Yuga, Treta, Dwapara and Kali Yuga. So, what we find is that we have Treta Yuga, we have Rama, and Dwapara Yuga, we have Krishna. So, Rama, Krishna, they come. Krishna is the human being with consciousness. So that is why Krishna consciousness we talk about it. And then we talk about either 2 paths are here. One is the path that says Balarama is one of the avatara. The other says Buddha is the avatara. So when we say Balarama is the avatara, we are talking about a human being who started cultivating. Because they use the hala. The hala is the plow. So the human being who was cultivating the land and, you know, sort of learning how to master nature. That is how Balarama comes in. It is said that with the hala, with his Haladara Rupa, he's called, he actually changes the course of the Yamuna river. So we are changing the course of nature through human intervention. That is how Balarama is understood. The other side says, after Krishna comes Buddha, who is the one who has the buddhi, who has attained that highest buddhiman, who has attained that highest state of oneness. And then they end with Kalki, who it is said is yet to come, who is the final avatara, who then finishes off Kali Yuga, so that then the next cycle of the Yugas, the whole Manvantara, Pralaya can occur and the whole Manvantara cycles can go on. Because Indian concept of time is cyclic. So you go through these huge Yugas and then you go through Pralaya and you continue. So Kalki comes at the end of that to change everything and transform everything. So now here we have Buddha and we have Balarama. So here the concept is that what happens is that the Balarama concept was more a concept when Hinduism got organized, and then there was one aspect in Hinduism who said, we want to keep the Buddha also. We want to keep the Buddhists within this family. We don't want the Buddhists to go out of the family of Sanatana Dharma, and hence they said if Buddha is one of the avatars, the Buddhists will also feel part of this Sanatana Dharma family. So that is why there is a difference here. Some people will go Balarama, some people will go Buddha. Now what is very interesting is there is a great poet called Jayadeva. And Jayadeva is a Vishnu, a Krishna Bhakt. And Jayadeva has given a lot of Ashtapatis, 8 verses as part of his songs. And Jayadeva in his Dashavatara starts off, Pralayapayo Jayadale Keshava. Beautiful composition. We did a dance drama based on that many years ago. What Jayadeva does is he does a master stroke. He says Krishna is the supreme. So he keeps Vishnu out of the picture. He says Krishna is the supreme and Krishna has 10 avatars. So after Rama, he has Balarama, Buddha and Kalki. So what Jayadeva has actually...
He kept Krishna as the main.
Yes.
And he brought in Buddha. So
absolutely. So it is Krishna coming in the form of Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, Parasurama, Rama, Balarama, Buddha, Kalki. So he actually achieved a master stroke. This was Jayadeva and his Ashtapadi Pralaya Payo Jitale. So this is how this Dasavatara concept came. And each of these has stories associated. For example, Matsya Avatara as a fish, Vishnu comes to save the Vedas. As Kurma Avatara, he comes to help the mountain which was going down as the Devas and Asuras were churning the ocean. Mount Meru was going down. And he brings the mountain up as the Kurma Avatara. As Varaha Avatara, he brings earth back, who had sunk to the depths. He brings her up. That is Hiranya Aksha, is at that point who comes in. In Narasimha Avatara, the next one, to save Prahalada, his Bhakta Prahalada, he comes in the half man, half lion form. Again, one of those stories that it's like all the villains. They think they've got it all right and then they make one mistake. Okay, there's always one mistake with which they get caught. Hiranyakashipu, the brother of Hiranya Aksha. So Hiranya Aksha was killed by Varaha Avatara. Okay, he stole Bhuma Devi, and so he was killed and Bhuma Devi was brought back to the surface by Varaha Avatara. So Hiranyakashipu started to hate Vishnu. So he did lot of penance, he got all sort of boons, and Lord Brahma, who usually comes and gives everybody the boons, and then the trouble starts. Lord Brahma gives him the boon that he says, I shouldn't be killed either in the day or the night. Neither up nor down, neither inside nor outside, neither by man or animal, and not by any weapon. So he gives all these conditions, terms and conditions in bank loans. He gives all these conditions and Brahma says, okay. Because he says, Sagavaram ta, give me the boon that I will never die. Brahma says that's not possible. So he puts all these conditions. So he thinks I've escaped, and so he becomes very arrogant, and he says everybody should, instead of chanting Om Namo Narayana, they should chant Om Namo Hiranyakshaya Namaha. So we did it in our drama also. Hiranyakshaya Namaha is how they should chant and all that. Now what happens is that in between, his wife, while she is pregnant, happens to be in the custody of the Devas, and Narada has been telling the stories of Vishnu. So when Prahalada is born, Prahalada is fixated on Lord Vishnu. So he's always singing Namo Narayana, Namo Narayana. His father got mad and said, kill this guy. So they try all sort of things. They throw him off the cliff, nothing happens. Elephants trample him, nothing happens. He's put into the fire. That is where the story of Holika. Holika is actually his sister, and so she is said that she will not be burnt by fire. So she takes her brother and sits in the fire so that he'll be burnt, but instead she gets burnt, and he comes out without getting burnt. So all these miracles are occurring with Prahalada. So then finally he is called to the court, and his father says, you are saying this Vishnu is there, Narayana is there. Yangullan Hari, Yangullan. Where is this Hari that you are talking about? And he says he is there every place. Thunilam Irpan, Turumbilum Irpan. He will be in the pillars, he will be every place. And he says, will he be in this pillar? And he points at a pillar. And Prahalada says yes. And it is said at that moment that Hiranyakashipu breaks the pillar and out comes Lord Narasimha Murthy. Narasimha Murthy, who's half lion, half human. So he said neither animal nor human being. He is neither man nor animal because he is both. It is twilight. It is the evening time like now where it's neither day nor night. The day is becoming night and night is becoming day. That twilight period. He brings him to the threshold of the building. So neither inside nor outside. Puts him on his thigh, neither down nor up. And then with his teeth and his nails, which are not weapons, he destroys Hiranyakashipu. Again a story that power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. But then the divine is always there to teach us a lesson. Our ego should never become so big that we think we are the big boss. We should always understand Narayana Bhava, Narayana Arpana Bhava, and Nimitta Bhava. We are to live as a tool of the divine. We are to work as the divine working through us, and we are offering our efforts as an arpanam to the Narayana. So this is the story of Narasimha. Then Vamana comes there, and Vamana comes because Mahabali Chakravarti down in Kerala, they recently celebrated Onam.
I think he's the grandson of Prahalada, right?
Absolutely,
so
yes.
Everything
is interconnected.
Connected.
So Prahalada's
the good is
grandson.
also connected, the evil is also.
Absolutely. So Prahalada's grandson is Mahabali Chakravarti, who's a good king, but again ego and other issues. And so because of that, Vamana Avatara as a short dwarf comes and he says, I want 3 steps of land. And he said, take it. And then Vamana goes into what is called Trivikrama Avatara. He takes on, it's a beautiful asana, Trivikrama asana that the kids like to do. And at that point, one leg covers the earth, one covers the heavens. And then he asks Mahabali, where do I put the 3rd step? And Mahabali says, on my head. And the iconic scene in so many of our dance dramas where, Mahabali bends down and Vamana brings the foot down and pushes him into the nether world, where he rules the nether world. But then Mahabali asks him for a boon. He says, once a year I want to come back and see my people. And that is when they celebrate Onam. Recently they celebrated in Kerala, God's own country. And so Mahabali Chakravarti comes back to visit his people, it is said. So we have the concept of Vamana. Then Parasurama, Jamatagni Rishi's son, who 21 times destroys the whole Kshatriyas. He goes around destroying. And Parasurama becomes parallel with Rama. So he is still here while Rama Avatara is going on. And Rama breaks the bow of Shiva. He breaks the bow of Shiva. So Parasurama comes and challenges him. And Parasurama is humbled by Rama, who Parasurama realizes who Rama is and then blesses him and goes away. And similarly, Parasurama continues even into Krishna Avatara. Because the story of Karna going and learning from Parasurama, but Parasurama doesn't like Kshatriya. So he says, I will not teach a Kshatriya, so he lies that I am a Brahmin. And then there's that story where the bee comes and stings, and because Parasurama is lying down on Karna's lap, Karna doesn't move, and then Parasurama wakes up and he says, no Brahmin can take that type of pain. You are Kshatriya. And so he curses Karna that just when you need all this knowledge, you will forget it. Karna is one of those tragic characters of Indian culture. Tragic character. If you want to think of one tragic character in Indian culture, Karna is the one. And the great actor Shivaji Ganeshan, what a performance in the movie Karna. Wow, beautiful, beautiful performance.
And we also did a drama, Karna
I do one,
Such
one of
a
our
hit, actually.
one of our great hits. The Karna Charitam was actually quite a great hit in that way. So Parasurama continues like that. So Parasurama has the axe. Then Rama, and Rama we should have a separate episode for
Yes,
Rama because
sure.
so many stories of Rama, but the noble human being who follows the path of dharma, righteousness. And then Krishna, who also will have another episode for all his stories, who is the consciousness personified. The personification of consciousness, who is Yogeshwar and gives us the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Yoga Shastra. And then one side you have Buddha, the story of Buddha, which is so beautiful because Buddha saw what suffering is. And he, like Maharishi Patanjali, both of them say the same thing. Dukkhameva sarvam vivekinaha, that everything is suffering, everything is dukkha. You need to transcend it. And that is why he became the Buddha. And Sarnath, which is the place near Kashi, Benares, where he gave his first sermon, is actually the first place I visited when I was invited for the first time to go out in public and give a talk. So I always remember that when I went to Benares Hindu University to get become a fellow of the Indian Academy of Yoga, and my first official invited talk as an adult, and it was the same, it was near where Buddha did it, so we went to see Sarnath, which is a beautiful place, and Bodh Gaya, where he attains the Buddhi. Beautiful aspects of Buddha, and people don't realize that the Buddha was Hindu. Buddha was Hindu, and so there's a lot of this connection. Buddhism then took off on a tangent, but it's still the same trunk that became a tangent. It's like Sikhism. It is also a tangent on the same trunk. So they are not different. Jainism, Buddhism, Sikhism, all of them are very, very much connected to the same trunk, which is Sanatana Dharma. And then Kalki is, of course, we are awaiting. And who knows, maybe COVID-19 is Kalki, come to end it all. And could be because Kalki has a lot of association with actually destruction. And destruction so that everything can start again. And I think the COVID-19 pandemic has really exposed us to this concept that something has to change. The human race has to change. And so maybe COVID-19 is Kalki for all we know. Though they used to say maybe it's going to be a nuclear bomb that ends the humanity. That's another concept that was there. Dashavatara is a beautiful concept of evolution. It expresses evolution in the way that we understand it in the natural sciences also. And again, that the whole process of evolution is the same energy is continuing. From the time we were fish till the time we end, the same energy is continuing. That energy of sustenance, that energy of continuation is what Vishnu is all about. And when the divine incarnates in human form, that's the moment where Namo, Narayana comes alive. So many beautiful concepts when we think about it. But Rama and Krishna, we should have separate episodes because there are so many stories associated with them. And whenever I think of Vishnu, I always think of your Tata Swamiji singing, He Jagabandhan Devaki Nandan Alak Niranjan Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya He Jagabandhan Devaki Nandan Alak Niranjan Hare Hare Om Namo Narayanaya, 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 Jagabandhan, Devaki Nandan, Alak Niranjan, Hare Hare, Alak Niranjan, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. And I'll never forget that because Swamiji is singing that with his amazing booming voice and magnificent presence. The energy of Vishnu coming alive. So that beautiful energy of sustenance. And I think we as human beings must enable that Vishnu-ness in us to preserve the planet. We have been invoking more, I think, of a Shiva in destroying the planet. We need to invoke the Vishnu in us, sustain, conserve, and preserve this planet, our green planet, the blue planet. And I think it's so important for that to manifest. And if that manifests, we will transcend, we will become from Nara and Nari, we will become Narayana by becoming the divine and making sure that we protect, we sustain, and we conserve that which is in existence by refining it into a better form.
So thank you for overall of the whole 10 avatars, the incarnation, and I'm sure that maybe this would have been more of an introduction because as all of us know that okay, we say Vishnu, Narayana, but it's more of Rama and Krishna. So the upcoming episodes, we'll decide which will come first. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to disappoint you. But we will have a strong thinking on it, and the upcoming episodes we will have one on Rama and one on Krishna because it's very necessary. Because I think that's very essential, especially for this time. And we'll be back next week. What I say every week. So we will be back next week with the next episode of Tell Me Appa, and do join us. And just to keep in mind that you have the correspondence course coming up, so you can sign in because we are going to have this online and with Dr. Sir. So that's a bonus to tips, isn't it? Just like that. And we also have the yogic psychic neurology course coming up. So that's like a must for yoga practitioners and those who are having keen interest in yoga. So let's keep doing our best, and we will try to transcend from Nari to Narayana. So wishing you all a happy weekend, and as Sunday is considered like the first day in our culture, Indian culture. So hope you all have a nice week, and looking forward for the next weekend for more tales on Lord Rama and Krishna, and upcoming different gods. We'll have Shiva, and then we have all the think after Shiva we have to stop the masculine energy and give a chance to the feminine energy, which has this auspicious time in the month of October because we have the Navaratri coming up, and we have some plans to execute during the Navaratri time, and hope you all will be there to support us, and your support means a lot, and without you there has to be someone there to support us, only then we can keep going. So thank you to all of you, and wishing you all good luck in whatever you're doing, and happy weekend, and have a nice upcoming yogic evening and night.
And yes, Soundarajan, we'll have Hanuman Ji also.
Sure.
So don't worry, Hanuman Ji stories are so many. So we will not miss that great Bhakta Hanuman Ji also.
We'll try to cover all of it because it's an interesting way to get. Thank you.
Till we meet again, Namaste.